Запрошуємо до слова.
Now the floor is given to Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on ATO-related issues. Good afternoon, everyone. Though in recent days tension along the line of confrontation has somewhat decreased, the occupants haven't fully stopped shelling of positions of the armed forces of Ukraine, including with the use of mortars. Thus, the enemy once again has shown that they are not committed to support agreements of trilateral contact group on ceasefire for the period of New Year and Christmas holidays, and the armed forces of Ukraine fully implement undertaken obligations concerning full ceasefire. Now information in more detail. The Lugansk sector, during the last 24 hours, no ceasefire violations were recorded. This was the exemplary adherence to ceasefire. And in the Donetsk sector, no such calm was observed. Here, Russian occupation forces rather actively violated holiday ceasefire by delivering 6 precision shellings at the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine. And at night, they shelled with the use of large caliber machine guns and small arms our defenders of Avdiivka, and in the afternoon they were active near Verkhnetoretsk, and in the region of the settlement the enemy used 82mm mortars, grenade launchers and infantry weapons. And in the evening, on the approaches to Gnutovo, the invader delivered nearly 1 hour shelling at Ukrainian positions using mortars of 82mm of caliber, IFV weaponry and small arms. And the longest provocation was made by the enemy in the Primorsky sector in the region of Vodyane after 6 p.m. and until late in the evening. With the insignificant interruptions, the militants shelled positions of the armed forces of Ukraine with the use of small arms and grenade launchers of different types. Servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine, despite the evident threat to their lives and health, refrained from organizing firing back in response to illegal actions of the occupants. During the last 24 hours, along the line of confrontation, the enemy delivered 6 precision shellings of the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine. Ukrainian servicemen didn't return fire. In the result of enemy shelling, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 2 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine were wounded. This happened near Avdiivka and Vodyane. They were delivered to military hospital, where they were provided with medical assistance. According to information provided by main intelligence department of Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, despite introduction of ceasefire regime and significant decrease in the shellings, non-battle casualties in army corps of the occupants nearly doubled, and now they constitute more than 50% of overall number of killed and wounded. And this is connected mainly with low moral and psychological state of the enemy, and because their units are manned up with former convicts and marginal groups of population. During the last 24 hours, 3 militants died of drug overdose and excessive alcohol consumption. One of these militants was an officer. And due to neglect of safety rules while moving through the own mine and explosive obstacles movement, 1 militant died and 2 more were heavily wounded. And unlike the occupants, Ukrainian power cares about preservation and restoration of physical and psychological health, and cares about the psychological rehabilitation. The government these days adopted the order on provision of psychological rehabilitation for participants of ATO. The document envisages the mechanism of rehabilitation by relevant structural divisions concerning social protection of population, and complex of measures envisages psychological diagnostics, psychotherapy, consultations, support and accompanying of combat actions participants. This rehabilitation will be provided separately or in complex with other rehabilitation, sanitary and social services. Thank you.